Hi everybody, Kasey D'Amato, President of Certified PA Consulting. How are you? Welcome to this week's edition of our Town Hall video series. Every single week we host a free video and we talk about professional issues, business issues, money issues, specifically catered to the PA, physician assistant, NP, physician, and the medical community. Myself, I am a PA. I've been a PA since '03. I also am a business owner. I own a non-clinical business, multiple non-clinical businesses. I've sold businesses. I've raised capital. I've been a manager of a multi-million-dollar medical practice. And now I devote my career, my energy to coaching and consulting other medical professionals. So whether that is helping people understand specific salary negotiation strategies that are specific to business and how to negotiate most effectively so that it's a win-win for both parties, whether that is business coaching and consulting to help people who want to start a business or grow a business, or maybe an owner of an existing practice who's looking to improve processes or protocols or improve staff morale, things like that. And I'm also a certified life coach and career coach. So I help people navigate business transitions, business changes, whether it's within clinical medicine or transferring to something outside of clinical medicine. I help people navigate that complex process as well. And on this week's video, we are talking about imposter syndrome. Dun, dun, dun. It's such a negative topic. Everybody talks about imposter syndrome and how it holds them back. So let's talk about it. Let's get it out in the open. And we're talking about 3 tips, just 3 simple tips that will help you overcome imposter syndrome if this is you. So for those of you who don't even really understand what imposter syndrome is, it's that you're sort of going through the motions, whether this is in clinic or whether it's something outside of clinic, and you feel like you're not good enough. Like everybody else knows more with the same title in the same specialty, or maybe it's something outside of clinical practice, something else in your life, whether it's business related or marketing related or whatever it might be. And you're like, how come everybody else looks like such a pro? And I'm never going to be like that person. I'm never going to have my social media like this person. I'm never going to be as good in clinic as this person. They're the best. So, and it's this mindset that everybody else is always better and I will never get to that point. That's imposter syndrome. And it's in our minds because we all start as little kids and we all go through life go through college and go through medical school or medical programs, depending on what type of program. Then we get out, we get hired in our first job, and there's nothing that makes our colleague who graduated from school and was hired in a similar facility any better than we are, right? Everybody's learning at a different rate, and certain things will come more natural to some people. Certain things come more natural to you than to your colleague. So, business, for example, is something that's very interesting to me. I like business. Although I was trained in medicine, I gravitate towards and I'm very interested in business. So that's an area that I like. And I consider myself successful in managing businesses and business protocols and processes and things like that. And does it make me an expert? No, it does not. Probably there's people that have much, much bigger businesses than I have, but it gives me an element, a foundation of knowledge that I continue to learn and grow from. And even my mentors that have much bigger businesses, they're also always learning and growing. Everybody's always learning and growing in their different stage of life. Doesn't make them better or me better. So imposter syndrome, number 1 tip is everybody has imposter syndrome to some extent in their life, because we're all learning and growing at different processes and different stages, and there's different things that will feel natural and come easy to me than compared to you, compared to your colleague, my colleague, and vice versa. So imposter syndrome is something that everybody goes through. Don't believe what you see on social media. Nobody is feeling that just overwhelming confidence all the time in every single thing. They may put that out there in public or in front of patients or things like that, but I promise on the inside, everybody has some level of self-doubt at times. It's normal. It's totally normal. And so the number 1 tip about imposter syndrome is please do not pretend that other people are perfect, because that's not true. And it's okay to always be learning. So imposter syndrome is something that everybody experiences to some extent. And confidence is something that's learned, and we are all learning a process all the time. So that's number 1, is that Nobody else out there is perfect, I promise you. They might have certain areas of interest that interest them and they gravitate towards, but I promise you there's somebody that has done it bigger and better than them, and somebody who's done it bigger and better than them, and somebody who's done it bigger and better than them. And so to some extent, everybody has that feeling of, oh my gosh, will I ever be as good as so-and-so? And the answer is those people kind of keep us on our toes and keep us working towards the next level, but we're all working. Everybody in life is working for progress to get to that next level. So there is no person who is the perfect person who knows everything. Nobody knows everything. So that's number one. Number two, this is one of the biggest tools to overcome imposter syndrome is make a list for yourself of all of the things that you have accomplished in life that have been hard or challenging. That maybe you thought at the beginning, you're like, how am I going to do this? So if we're going back, this goes, I mean, if you think about school alone, we're going back to organic chemistry, right? Like how many of us were like, oh my God, am I ever going to get through this? I'm going to take it twice, 3 times. Like, this is torture. Those of you who are good at organic chemistry, the few and far between out there, I don't know who you are, but I know you're out there, then maybe this doesn't relate, but maybe there's something else that was really hard for you in life. Maybe it's parenting. Maybe you're like, oh my God, how am I going to do this? How am I going to raise a kid? And what am I going to do? And now you have kids that are doing well. What have you done? Make a list of things in your life that have been hard, really hard to do. And you did it and you accomplished it and you achieved it. And this is one of the most valuable tools I find to overcoming imposter syndrome, because when you look back at all of the things that you've accomplished in your life that have been hard and challenging and you conquered it and you mastered it, think about all the things that you're having self-doubt about. Why can't you conquer and master those things? Maybe there's something else. Maybe you don't want to. Maybe you're not that interested. You think you are, but maybe you don't really want to do it. Or it's just a confidence level. And it's just a matter of thinking back on all the hard, complicated things that you've done in life and you've nailed it. And now thinking like, oh my gosh, I can totally do this. I don't know why I'm having self-doubt about it. Forget about the other people that have already done it before you, because lots of people already did organic chemistry before all of us, and it was still pretty gnarly. And, you know, I think a lot of us had self-doubt about that, or maybe different points of PA school or medical school or that first job, or who knows, when we're like, oh my gosh, how are we going to get through this? But then we do, and we do well, and we get positive feedback, and we get good grades. Or in organic chemistry, we at least pass. And then we look back, we say, look, we did it. We did it. So all the things that you feel are challenging for you, or you feel imposter syndrome, like you're never going to be good enough. Think about all the things in your life that you are good at and you have conquered and you have mastered, and they have been hard and you've done it. So you can definitely do it again. So that's number 2. And I think it's one of the most powerful tools to overcome imposter syndrome, at least personally for me. When I feel any self-doubt, when I think about those things and I think back and I make that list, I handwrite it out so I can see it on paper, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I've done all these things in my life. Why am I having self-doubt about this one thing? Like, boom, let me put some action steps in place and I'm just going to do it. And I'm going to move forward. And am I an expert? There's always going to be somebody who's more of an expert in anything in life, anything. Everybody who you think is an expert, there's someone that they think is an expert beyond them. So I don't even think about that anymore. I just think about, will I have a level of knowledge that I'm comfortable in and I can be confident about to take the next steps. And then that brings me to point number 3, which is we are all always learning. Life is a journey. It's a process. We're always learning. We're always testing. We're always advancing. That we're not expected to know every single thing about every single thing. So we went to medical school. We have a foundation of knowledge in medicine, and we're always advancing that with CMEs and with new technology that comes out, new medications, and always advancing our knowledge base with medicine. And the same goes with other aspects of life. If you're having imposter syndrome with business or with marketing or with anything else outside of clinical medicine, it's the same. We're always learning. We're never going to be the master experts, because as soon as we master that one thing, something new comes out. So then we're learning that thing, and it just keeps going and keeps going. So, this is, I think, point number 3, which is important, which is thinking about, we want to keep studying until we know everything. It's impossible, because the target goal is always moving. The knowing everything, we can never. There's always more to learn, always more to learn, always more to learn. And right when we think we learned it all, there's something new. So point number 3 is accept the fact that We will never know every single thing about every single thing, and that's a normal part of life. We're all learning on our own journey at our own pace, and we're choosing the things that we want to master more information on compared to others. So be intentional about where you want to spend that energy and time and what areas of your life, and really get comfortable and hone in on that. Remember, we have coaching available for those of you who have imposter syndrome and it's really holding you back in your career path, whether it's in your clinic or doing something else. We have coaching available, life and career coaching. We help people through this process with even more tools than what I put in this short video. So take advantage, click the links below, or check out our website at Certified PA Consulting for our life and career coaching packages that can help you get over imposter syndrome once and for all. And we also, if you are interested in business, we have a brand new free webinar. It's not on YouTube. You have to register for it on our website. It's 10 do's and don'ts for business owners. So this can also help you with imposter syndrome if this is holding you back in business. So take advantage of that free resource. And if you really feel stuck and you need some professional help, register for our coaching packages and we'll help you through, get you past that pesky imposter syndrome that might be holding you back. All right, everybody, have a great day. I'll see you next week.